August 30th, 2014, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It was the number 14 ranked Wisconsin Badgers versus the 13th ranked LSU Tigers. And what a game this was. Wisconsin jumped out to an early lead when Reggie Love ripped off a 45-yard run to make it 7-0. So the Badgers went up quick in this one. Then, about 4 minutes later, they got a field goal to make it 10-0. But then, we had a huge play from LSU. As Travin Dural had an 80-yard reception, as Anthony Jennings just tossed one through the air. He let it fly 80 yards, an amazing play, and that put LSU on the board as they cut the Badgers' lead to 3, and it was now 10-7. And that would be it for the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, about midway through, Melvin Gordon got a 14-yard run. Big runs in this game for Wisconsin. Now they're up 17-7, so back up by 10, double digits. And that would be the score going to the locker rooms at halftime. So then in the third quarter, Wisconsin scored first for that half, the second half. That was a 2-yard run, their third rushing touchdown of the game. It's Corey Clement scored to make it 24-7. So the Badgers looked like they were just running away with this one, literally. But not so fast. The LSU Tigers were not going to just lay down and take defeat. First, they started by chipping away. They got a 30-yard field goal to cut the lead to 14, as it was now 24-10 with a little under 8 minutes left in the third. Then, with just over 2 minutes left, they got another field goal, so they kept chipping away. This time it was a 47-yarder. That made it 24-13, as they were now down by 11. Then in the fourth quarter, we had a huge pass from Anthony Jennings. He's been throwing some bombs, and this one went to John Durst. It was 36 yards, and that cut the Badgers' lead to just 3. So now LSU was just down by 3 points, just a field goal, with 12 minutes left in the game. But they didn't take all that time, as less than 3 minutes later, Kenny Hilliard had a 28-yard run as he tore through the Badgers' defense all the way to the end zone. And that made it 28-24 as LSU took the lead for the first time in this game. So they're now up by 4, and they held on to that lead, and they held the Badgers from scoring. And that would be the final score, as the Tigers get the unlikely victory as they come from behind to win this one. As they scored 20 consecutive points, 20 unanswered points to win. So the LSU Tigers come from behind in an impressive win over the Badgers, who are formidable foes to say the least. Tanner McEvoy had a horrible day. He was struggling. Couldn't get anything going through the air. He was 8 of 24, only 50 yards passing. On the other side, though, that was for Wisconsin. For LSU, though, Anthony Jennings, he had better luck. Not much better in terms of completion percentage, but in terms of actual yards per completion. So he actually had 239 yards to the air off 9 completions off 21 attempts. The big number for him was the 2 touchdowns versus 2 interceptions on the other side for Wisconsin. Of course, Wisconsin did get 140 yards rushing from Melvin Gordon, so he had a really good day on the ground, although it wouldn't be enough. Of course, LSU did it mainly through the air, but Kenny Hilliard picked up 110 on the ground himself, so both teams had a rusher break the century mark. But through the air, as we said, for LSU, we had Travin Dural, who had 151 yards receiving, as well as a touchdown. Hilliard rushed for a touchdown as well. Hilliard averaged 6.1 yards on the ground for LSU. And Dural only had 3 receptions. He actually averaged 50 yards per catch. This guy only makes big plays. Talk about a playmaker. And the difference, too, is that Roland Martin interception. So Roland Martin comes up with a big interception. LSU, behind Anthony Jennings, Hilliard, and Dural, come up huge, come from behind, and the Tigers win.